Okay, so I'm looking at a student's document and I can see the end result, but I can see very little about the actual process of the student arriving at this end result. If I look in the revision history, which I can do by clicking here, then I can get a lot of information. I can find out whether students managed their time well, whether they were working late at night, whether they were working when they should have been or not working when they should have been, and also sometimes whether someone else was doing the work. There are a lot of clues that you can find in here. However, it's not easy, it's very time consuming, and you certainly can't see this information for more than one student at a time. That's why I designed Classwork Zoom, which will help you to see this kind of information for whatever assignments you choose for a whole class at a time. So on November 1st, 2018, I had class from 9:35 to 10:50 in the morning. And these are all my students right here, and these are all their documents associated with this assignment. And it was time to work, but look, that's not very much work. If each of these blocks represents some work, like on this argumentative essay notes document, that was the work that was done. But look, Rochelle didn't do anything. Sam didn't do anything. This is not ideal, but at the time, I didn't notice. I didn't know this. People looked like they were working, and so I thought everything was fine. If you hover over one of these blocks, you can see that there were 20 minutes of work done in that block. So from 10:15 in the morning to 10:35, this student was working for about 20 minutes with no breaks longer than 5 minutes in between. And this student, Zach, these are fake names. This student worked for 2 minutes, and then a little while later worked for 5 minutes. But then all these other students did nothing. Here's a little bit here. Down here we have one student who, it says not in this class. This is actually a student who left the Google Classroom after changing schools. And so these are documents that seem to be removed from the assignment. That's because they left the classroom. But if you had someone who edited any other student's document who is not in the class, someone to whom that was not assigned, then you would also see them down here. Okay, so what we're looking at is, well, it's a problem. A lot of students not doing very much work. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and if you click on these arrows over here, it'll take you to the next block of work for this student. So let's see here. Again, we have just very small amounts of work during class time, 4 seconds, 10 seconds, 44 seconds, 6 minutes. This is a teacher's worst nightmare right here, is all these indications that students weren't working when they should have been, and I didn't even know. Okay. So the total time spent on this document was 2 hours and 51 minutes. And the total time spent on this one, 2 hours and 43 minutes, 3 hours and 12 minutes. But here, so far, before this block of work, and this isn't even, this is like the third class that they had to work on it, only 12 minutes of editing was done before this. So when was that done? So if I click on this to go to the next block of work by this person, again, just a little bit during class. So at this point, only 35 minutes of work has been done. And you can see that there are several classes when the student was assigned to be working on it. So, even less now. So you'd think maybe the person's done, but in fact, let's zoom out a little bit. See where all the work was done. Let's wait till we get to the deadline. Oh, see, look at this. All of a sudden, all of these students who did very little in class are working very hard right before the 10 p.m. deadline for the assignment. If I were paying attention to Classwork Zoom when this was all happening, then I could have stopped this a lot sooner. I didn't see this until after the fact. I'm aware that it would be really easy to wonder, what the heck was this teacher doing? How could he possibly not know all this stuff was not happening? But in my experience at class time, students were talking. They appeared to be talking about their work, and maybe they were. Students were on occasion coming to my desk and checking with me about things. So it's not that